Have you ever noticed your security cameras suddenly stopped recording? Maybe your IP camera, DVR or NVR shows errors, or you realize there's no footage saved when you need it most. Don't worry. In this video, I'll show you the main reasons why these recording problems happen and, more importantly, how to fix them step by step. And if you have security cameras, work with security cameras, or plan to set up your own system, consider subscribing so you don't miss our upcoming tutorials. Now, let's get started. We'll start by tackling common recording problems on DVRs, NVRs, and XVRs. Then we'll move on to fix issues with IP cameras, so by the end, you'll know exactly how to solve any security camera recording problem. So let's start with the first part of this tutorial, where you'll learn how to fix recording issues on DVRs, XVRs, NVRs, and similar devices. And at this point, I don't know if you're aware of it or not, but for these devices to record the footage from the connected cameras, it is necessary to have a hard drive or an SSD installed inside them. In this picture, we're showing a DVR with a regular hard drive installed inside it. And in this other picture, the same DVR, but this time with an SSD installed inside it. And the very first thing you need to do is check if the hard drive or SSD inside your device is working properly. The most practical way to do this is by using the disk manager built into these systems. So, go ahead and access the disk manager on your device. Now, the exact steps may vary depending on the brand and model of your DVR, XVR, or NVR, but in most cases, you'll find the disk manager under the advanced settings. On the device we're using as an example, you simply open the menu, go to Advanced, and then click on Storage. But remember, on your device, the path might look a little different depending on the brand and model. And this screen may also look different depending on the system your device uses. Just as an example, here are some screens showing devices with other systems. In the disk manager, you'll need to check the status of the drive. If the status shows as normal, that means the hard drive or SSD is fine, and the recording issue is most likely just a configuration error. But if the status shows error, or if no information appears at all, then there is definitely a problem. In that case, the issue could be caused by a power supply failure, a faulty hard drive or SSD, or even a malfunction in the device itself. And in this tutorial, we'll show you how to fix recording problems for each of these possible causes. But before we move on, here's a quick tip. If the status shows an error, sometimes you can fix the problem simply by formatting the drive. In the disk manager of these devices, there's usually a format button. Just click it to start the process. But be careful. Before formatting, make sure there's nothing important on the drive, because formatting will erase everything stored on it. After formatting, the status may return to normal, and the device may start recording again. But even if that happens, make sure to keep watching this video, because there's always the chance that the drive will show errors again later, and the device could stop recording once more. If that happens, you'll need to follow the steps we're about to show you to fix the problem for good. If the status shows no information at all, or if the error remains even after formatting, then you'll need to check three things: the power supply, the hard drive or SSD, and finally, the device itself. Let's start with the power supply. To find out if the problem is being caused by the power supply, all you need to do is test your device with a compatible power adapter that's working properly. But before you do that, there's something important to know. Testing the power supply is only necessary if your device is using a 3.5-inch hard drive. If it's running on a 2.5-inch hard drive or an SSD, you can skip this step and move on to the next one. To determine if a power adapter is compatible with your device, you need to consider the voltage, polarity, current, and the connector. You can find the voltage, amperage, and polarity information on the label of the power supply. Then, simply compare the original power adapter of the device with the replacement. In this case, the voltage, connector, and polarity must match exactly between the two adapters. The only characteristic that can differ on the replacement adapter is the current. The replacement adapter's current should be equal to or greater than the original, but never lower. At this point, you need to be absolutely sure that the replacement adapter is compatible. Using the wrong power supply can damage your device and the hard drive installed inside it. If you have any doubts, we recommend seeking help from someone experienced with this kind of equipment. And if you need our assistance with this, know that we're leaving our support number below, both in the video description and in a pinned comment. We'll help you for free. All we ask in return is that you subscribe to the channel and give this video a like to support us. Once you have the correct power supply, you should turn on your device using it. If the problem was caused by the power supply, the drive status in the disk manager should return to normal, and the device should start recording again. But if that doesn't fix the issue, and the drive still shows an error or no information, then there may be a problem with the hard drive or SSD. In that case, you'll need to get another hard drive or SSD to test in your device. To perform the test, you'll need to open your device. So before anything else, turn it off and unplug it from the power source to avoid any risk of damage. Then, using a Phillips screwdriver, remove the screws and open the device. Keep in mind that the way you open your device may vary depending on its brand and model. Once you've opened the device, start by checking the cables to see if they are properly connected. If they're not, fix the connection and turn the device back on to check if the hard drive is detected and working normally. But if the cables are already connected correctly, disconnect them from the current hard drive or SSD and connect them to the test hard drive or SSD. The cable connectors are designed so they cannot be connected incorrectly, so you shouldn't have any difficulty here. After connecting the cables, if you're testing a 3.5-inch hard drive, it probably has a large circuit board. Place a book or something similar underneath to keep it from touching metal parts and avoid damaging the drive. After connecting the test drive, power on the device. At this point, it's important to mention that this procedure may erase everything on the test hard drive or SSD. Make sure there's no important data on it before testing. Once the device is on with the test drive, access the disk manager and check the drive status. If it shows normal, that means the problem is with the original hard drive or SSD, and you'll need to replace it. Otherwise, if the test drive still shows an error or no information, then the issue may be with the device itself. In this case, you should turn off the device, disconnect it from the power supply, reconnect the cables to the main hard drive or SSD, and then try to fix the problem using one of the following procedures. First, check if your device has a second SATA connector. If it does, disconnect the SATA cable from the current connector and connect it to the other one. If there isn't a second connector, check if there's at least a spot where a second connector should be. If there is, and you have experience with soldering electronic components, you can remove the current connector and place it in the second position. Then simply connect the SATA cable to it. In both cases, after moving the SATA cable to the second position, turn on the device and check if the drive status returns to normal. If it does, the problem is solved. If not, the issue is likely more serious, and you'll need the help of someone experienced in repairing this type of device. Now that we've covered how to troubleshoot recording issues on DVRs, NVRs, XVRs, and similar devices, let's move on to IP cameras, the Wi-Fi cameras that usually record footage on a memory card. Even though these cameras are simpler than DVRs or NVRs, recording issues can still happen. In this section, we'll show you the main causes of these problems and how to fix them step by step. Step 1. Check the memory card. The first thing to check is the memory card. Remove it from the camera and inspect it for any visible damage or dirt. Next, insert the card into a computer or card reader and see if it's recognized. If the card is damaged or doesn't work properly, replace it with a new, compatible memory card. Step 2. Format the memory card. Sometimes the memory card may be physically fine but corrupted. In this case, format the card using the camera's built-in formatting option or a computer. Important: formatting will erase everything on the card, so make sure there's nothing important before proceeding. Step 3. Check camera settings. After confirming the memory card is working, check the camera's recording settings. Ensure that recording is enabled. Verify the recording schedule. Some cameras only record at specific times. Make sure motion detection or continuous recording settings are configured correctly. Step 4. Update firmware. Outdated firmware can cause recording issues. Check the manufacturer's website for the latest firmware for your camera. Follow their instructions carefully to update the camera. Step 5. Test with a new memory card. If problems persist, try a different, compatible memory card. Make sure the new card is of good quality and not a counterfeit, because unfortunately there are fake memory cards on the market that don't work properly and can cause recording failures. Insert the new card into the camera, configure it correctly, and test recording. If the camera records normally, the original card was likely the cause. Step 6. Check the camera hardware. If even a new card doesn't fix the issue, there might be a hardware problem with the camera itself. Check for any signs of damage or loose connectors. If necessary, contact technical support or the manufacturer for help. And that's it. By following these steps, you should be able to solve most recording issues on IP cameras. Remember, keeping the memory card clean, properly formatted, and using the right settings is key to reliable recording. If you found this guide helpful, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more tutorials like this.